Hey guys, my name is Nicole. Welcome back to my channel for another shop with me. Today I am at an estate sale, which I have not gone to an estate sale in ages. It's one of my favorite places to shop for actual antiques though. I think that's where you find the best real, old, truly antique treasures. I think it's really hard to find those things at Goodwill, and if you do, it is definitely a lucky day. But estate sales are, in my opinion, where the best stuff is, especially when you happen upon one like today's, which is the estate sale of someone who was an antique dealer or just someone who collected also. I do believe that this is someone who sold antiques, but you can tell she had a really good eye for all types of antique collectibles. So you're going to see a lot of crockery here, a lot of enamelware, just the old kitchen stuff that I love, and then later on some antique pieces out in the barn area. So this was just a really fun sale to shop because it is filled with some of my favorite types of antiques. You can see this is just the front porch area and it is filled top to bottom with a whole bunch of stuff. I got here at about 11 a.m. and the doors had opened at 8, but the ticket line started at 6 in the morning, which does not fit my schedule right now, so I did not try to get there that early. But I was pretty proud to get there at 11. So here you can see I'm already inside. This piece of furniture was already sold, which I wasn't surprised, but I was pretty sad. I don't know what it sold for, but it is absolutely beautiful. I'm kind of glad that it was sold though, because if I would have bought it, I would have been so tempted to keep it. So it's probably for the best that it went to somebody else. But you can see she had some really cool things like these butter molds, and wouldn't just have one of them, she would have several of them. And I just love that collection of those really cool things all put together. That scale was beautiful right there. And she really mixed in a lot of florals just in a really pretty way. This is the kitchen kind of off to the side of the house. This is definitely an older home where like each room is very sectioned off from the rest of the house, which I actually like, and I think it's coming back around. We've gotten to the open concept living, but it's just definitely not as cozy as a house that has all of its separate rooms. So I feel kind of torn about what I would look for in my next house, because I do kind of like where this kitchen is kind of separated off from the other living spaces. Kind of harder with kids because I want to be able to keep an eye on them, but I do just think it feels so much cozier to have a home that's kind of more separated like this. You can see the hutches she had here, just absolutely beautiful. Each one was a little bit different than the others, and they were just filled with antique collectibles. I love these jars with the wooden lids. She had a lot of the white ceramic, which is so popular right now to start collecting again. Blue and white dishes here, and then I love these blue and white dishes up in the hutch. They're probably not as old, but I really like the little blue leaves painted on those. She had some nice wall decor too, and now that I'm looking back, and I always do this once I rewatch my videos, I'm kind of kicking myself for not grabbing more. Like even as simple as those Pyrex dishes in the back, I wish I would have just grabbed those, and that little crockery right there. I think that was just a really good size. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. Now this was day one of the sale, so everything was full price, and if I go back tomorrow, everything is half price, which my mom did end up going back. I wasn't able to, and there was still quite a bit left that she was able to grab at half price, but this was definitely a well-shopped estate sale. I will say there wasn't, to my understanding, there wasn't a ton left on day two, but she was able to pick up a couple things we still had our eye on. And this is yet another hutch just full of a beautiful collection of blue and white. And this pottery piece caught my eye because I do collect these. It was $40 on day one. I was really tempted because I don't have one that's quite this size. It was nice and big, but it is a little more than I would like to spend on a piece like that, so I let that one go. I like these blue and white speckled dishes, and then she had all those little crockeries on the bottom with their original wooden lid. Just such a good collection, and displayed in such a beautiful hutch. It's just my favorite thing. I love just a beautiful hutch filled with old pieces like this. Price wise, I will say everything was selling for about what I would want to sell it for, so I didn't find a ton of things to buy today, but there were a few pieces that I was able to score either for myself or to sell in my booth for a profit. I loved this little hook piece, probably for mugs. I've never seen one with that, with the blue and white. And then this was just the smaller bedroom off of the living space, so just a very ornate bed right there. I wouldn't say that's Eastlake, and it was selling for a little over $200. I liked some of the handmade throws she had around the house. Some were knit and crochet. I like that one, but the price tag was actually blank, I think, and I just didn't ask what the price was. And then going out to the barn, they had that little washboard there, a dresser, a few things that were knockdowns like that roll top desk, I believe, oh, and some kitchen items. I'm trying to think, I think the price of this wash stand was about $45. So again, I just love seeing all of these old like kitchen collectibles, the wooden spoons, all those kind of things are my favorite things to find. Old record player, this big chest, this little sewing cabinet. It was just like one thing after another. I love a good barn full of antique finds. So this was probably my favorite part, was to come out here and see all of the things that had been tucked away out in this barn. The Singer table was in really great shape, and I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but I remember thinking that it was a really good deal. They are just so heavy. That's kind of our biggest holdup with those. So it looks like I take a closer look here, but I don't remember if I show you the price. Probably not. But it is like a fully intact Singer sewing machine table. And I loved the pieces of this roll top desk, but there was no way I was going to be able to buy that whole thing. It was just very, very large. But this like old door piece right here, I almost asked if she would sell that on its own, but I really didn't want to take apart the desk and then not let somebody else have all the pieces if they really wanted that project. So I let it stay, even though I think that would just be a really cool piece of wall decor. It was nice and heavy and solid, but this was at one time a really beautiful desk. I think it could probably be put back together, but it was just not something I was willing to take on today. Now this old rake piece I actually paid for, and I don't think I grabbed it when I was leaving. I had so much stuff in my hands, so I'm kind of kicking myself for that. I only paid a couple dollars. But it was really cool, and I'm really sad that I think I probably forgot it that day, unless it's somewhere in my car or my mom's car and we just never saw it, but probably not because it's been a couple weeks at this point. Another little wash stand there, and then, oh, what am I showing you here? Oh yeah, I ended up buying this, just a little cute like shelf sitter. But there are several pieces in here that have like the marble top, which isn't my favorite thing to sell. It's just really heavy, and I don't think they sell super quickly. But there were several in here. Absolutely love this desk. And my mom ended up purchasing this. I wanted to say that now because I don't think I tell you later in the video. It's so cool. And that door that's sitting on the bottom, it attaches to the top. One of my favorite things there. And it's actually in our booth right now. So hopefully by the time I get up there to sell or to tape my next booth tour video, it hasn't sold yet, because I really want to show you guys how that turned out. Such a cool piece. Here's another wash stand, again with the marble top, or maybe that's granite, for $175. But you see that Eastlake mirror. That's what I was wondering, if they would sell me that separately too, because it is a really cool piece. But I didn't end up asking just because it was really busy that day. I love the pieces of this table, but as you can see, it needed some help that I'm just not able to give it at this time. And then I just spend a couple more minutes in the barn here, and I'm gonna head home and show you everything that I bought. Okay, so I didn't end up buying a ton, but the stuff that I did buy, I truly love each piece so much. So let me just get right into it. For $25, I got this little sewing cabinet. At least that's what I'm pretty sure it's for, is like it would hang on the wall and then you'd have all your spools of thread. This is the type of thing that's so tempting for me to keep. I just love anything that organizes like craft supplies. I love it. I love this one so much. But for $25, I feel like I need to sell it and try to get some of that money back. I think I'm gonna sell it closer to $38, possibly even $42. I'll see how it does in this natural oak color. And if it doesn't sell as is, I might try to paint it, but probably not. I think that this is an antique piece, and I'd really just like to sell it as is. Maybe if it doesn't sell, I'll just bring it home and keep it, because I really like this piece so much, and it's in great condition. And then just out of their barn, I grabbed this set of 3 little wooden spoons, and they have the green ends, so of course that grabbed my eye. I just think they have a great patina, very nice and primitive. And I just think these look really nice when they're displayed like in a piece of pottery. So I love those. I believe I paid $8 for the whole set. So I'll probably charge maybe 12 to 15 for the set of 3. I would say that these are also an antique piece as well. And look at that green color, it's my absolute favorite. Also out in the barn, I just grabbed this very tiny little shelf sitter. Oh, you can't even see it, here we go. So it's just made out of wire. It was only $2, I just thought it was really cute. This is the type of thing that'll sell pretty quickly in my booth. I'll probably ask $5 for it. Just thought it had some good character. It's actually like a little glass beaker inside. And then from inside, this is one of my favorite pieces. A little piece of pottery here. I want to say I paid $8 for him. He does kind of have these really ugly, like added foots on the bottom, feet. But I thought I had really good character. This one's going to be hard for me to let go because I've really been into handmade pottery. Oh, look, it's $6. So even cheaper than I thought. So while most things there I think were priced, you know, pretty well for the market, as in they were priced what they are worth. They weren't really great prices for resellers. I do think this is one of those things that was marked at a really fair price. Like all the speckling. Has some old paint on there, but I can easily scratch that off. So really happy with that find, and for $6, I think that was such a good deal. Like I said, this is going to be really hard for me to part with. That's why I need to price it right away and just get it out of my house so I don't get too attached. I'm trying to save my favorite piece for last, but I actually have 2 things that I think are my absolute favorite. So just kind of randomly, I found this old box of dice. This was actually inside a piece of furniture that I bought, which I'll show you at the end also. But these dice are actually kind of old. I can just tell by the way they feel, the size of the dots. So that's kind of cool. There is 10 dice in here and some old handwritten instructions for a game. So I thought that was kind of a fun find, especially since I actually didn't pay for this. It was just in that drawer and it was kind of a surprise. So I'll probably only ask, you know, $10 to $12 for this. And then I snagged this pillow. It was $5. Obviously it's not antique or vintage, but I do think it has a nice neutral color, and I think this will sell really quickly in my booth. Probably sell it for closer to $12 also. I want to say this one was about $25, so not the cheapest thing I bought, because I'm pretty sure it was the same price as my other wall cabinet. But these actually do sell pretty well for me. It has some really good character in the top, which you can't see. Now you can. So I think it's just a really good piece. Still operates. Has lots of organizers inside, little cubbies. So I thought this was a great find, and this is something that I can ask for closer to $60 in my booth. Okay, I'm already down to my last 2 things, which are my absolute favorites. So first up is this pitcher my mom actually got for me when she went back on the 2nd day, because it was half price on day 2. The first date was $45, which I felt was just too much, but I have a big collection of pottery with like the blue stripe around it. Not really like this one, but this one still goes really well. So on the 2nd day it was $27. And I've never seen one really this size or this shape. This one feels more handmade. So I really, really loved it. And I was super glad she was able to snag this on the 2nd day for that half off price. And then last is this amazing handmade blanket in a blue gingham. It's so pretty. It's so well done. It's in great shape. Apparently the house, like I said earlier, was an antique dealer's home, but she also seemed very crafty. So I'm curious if she made this herself or if she bought it, but it definitely looks handmade. And I just love the condition it's in. I did pay quite a bit for it. Okay, I paid $25. But I loved it. I couldn't pass it up. I knew it probably wouldn't be there on day 2 when my mom went back. So I went ahead and paid the price. And if I was gonna sell it, I'd probably do closer to $45 anyway, just because it's such a unique piece, something really hard to find. And I've never really seen gingham blanket like this. I just love it so much. And I'm doing a lot more blue in my living room right now. I'm trying to add in a lot more color, and so it looks great in here. So right now I'm probably not gonna sell it, but if I ever change my color scheme, I will switch it out. But I just really, really like this one. I know you guys will appreciate this find also. I also bought this washstand for $45. Don't be mad, but I do plan on painting it in a future video to sell in my booth.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand.